they were talking about network marketing today and how network marketing is done today. And the statement was made by one of these people. Oh, yeah. Can you believe people used to do three-way calls? They used to do three-way videos. Like no one does that anymore. And I laughed a little bit to myself because the person that's on the Zoom telling me that that's dead. Zoom, like third-party validation's dead to get someone to say yes, like to close the deal, right? To someone to write the check, send the credit card number. That's dead. Is actually on a Zoom with me. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Freedom Factory podcast. I am excited for another episode with you. Today, we're going to be talking about third-party validation, using a system that will help you close the deal. If you're not closing deals, if you feel like you're chasing your tail, in other words, you're sending videos out, you're talking to people, but people are not purchasing, they're not joining the team. It's probably because you're either not using third-party validation or you've only used it once, like one video or one story. And so we're going to talk about this today. We're going to talk about what it does and why you should be using it. And then we're going to also talk about how to do it the proper way. All right. So let's jump into this. Whenever you join a network marketing opportunity, it's usually for the majority of people, a little bit of a stretch, meaning it's something that they didn't do before. Like in my case, my background was in real estate and the automotive industry. Well, the wellness company, the company I joined is a wellness company. And so completely opposite of how I was earning money. Now, wellness was not a foreign subject to me, right? I've been an athlete for many, many years. And at the time when I joined the network marketing opportunity, I was actually heavily involved in triathlon and something called aqua bikes, which is where you do the triathlon, you just don't do the run portion. So you swim, then you bike. And I loved them, right? I did it a lot. And I knew a lot about nutrition, wellness, the body, being fit, all those things, right? But when I started talking to people about the product, it was kind of a head scratcher to them because they knew that that was not how I earned my money. I earned my money in real estate and the automotive business. And so I had to be able to build a bridge between what my past was and how I earned money to getting my contacts, my prospects to say yes to me. And that bridge was built with third-party validation. This is the power of it. And while I'm telling you this, it's a funny story that just popped into my head. A few months ago, I was on a Zoom call and we were talking. I was with the owner of this new system that's out there. There's three of them on the call, on the Zoom, and myself. And they were talking about network marketing today and how network marketing is done today. And the statement was made by one of these people. Oh, yeah. Can you believe people used to do three-way calls? They used to do three-way videos. Like no one does that anymore. And I laughed a little bit to myself because the person that's on the Zoom telling me that that's dead. Zoom, like third-party validation's dead to get someone to say yes, like to close the deal, right? To someone to write the check, send the credit card number. That's dead. Is actually on a Zoom with me using third party. The woman that kind of put me in front of this was on the Zoom, but then there were two other ladies on the Zoom. She was using third party, and we're on a Zoom and she's telling me third party is dead. And I had to laugh to myself because I was thinking, isn't that what we're doing right now? And then I thought, who would possibly invest in a business without at least having a phone call or video conference with someone to answer questions? Like, who would spend money to get into a business just on maybe being a part of a Facebook group or watching a video? You send me a video, it's 5 minutes long, it's 3 minutes long, and then I'm going to write a check for 10 grand or 20 grand or 100 grand. No. Are you going to do that? Like, no. Would you go into any business without like a face to face, like to know this is real? And the answer is no. You would want to talk to someone. You'd have questions. You'd want to have your concerns resolved, right? And that's what third party validation does. The reason why a lot of people don't do it anymore is their brains have been wired for these social media systems where you throw someone in a Facebook group and that's it. And in many cases, they might join, but the big question is, do they do anything? If you've had people join your network marketing opportunity as a business partner and they don't do anything, it's because they're not doing the system. They're not following the system. I always know in my teams who is doing the systems, like doing the system, because they're getting consultant enrollments. If they're not doing the system, they're pretty much just getting customers. And maybe that's what they wanted. And if that's what you want, fine. You don't really need third-party validation to get customers. Now, I'm going to tell you in this podcast some ways that you can use third-party to get customers. I think there's a very, very good reasons to do it. But what third-party does is it, one, gives you instant credibility, right? You're able to connect your prospect with someone that has had success. And the fact of the matter is, people expect you to be excited, right? They expect you to be excited about something. But when someone else, like I've got 2 kids, as you guys know. If someone asks me how my kids are doing, they are expecting me to say something good. They are expecting me to brag on the kids, be proud of the kids. It's a whole nother thing if some stranger, like another friend, says the same things about your kids. Like, they expecting me to say my kids are great. But if my friend says, listen, Brandon and Lynette's kids are great kids, man, that holds a whole lot more weight, because people are expecting me to say that, right? They're expecting to say my products are great or my kids are great. But if a third party, someone else outside of me says that, it holds a ton of weight. All right. And so right away, it builds credibility. The second thing is it removes all pressure from you having to like say all the right things and remember all the data and remember like all the stuff. It takes, all you are is a connector. This might be one of the biggest reasons why you guys should be using third party, is it removes that so that people can come out of the gates and have instant success. Instead of building 6 months or a year of knowledge and credibility, like becoming this expert, like everybody wants to be an expert before they start pitching or prospecting. Well, good luck with that, because that's going to take 6 months or longer to get that kind of knowledge or credibility to be able to spit all the facts out. And in that period of time, you're probably not going to earn any money, and you're probably going to quit before you get the knowledge. I can promise you, your friends would rather join a business where they don't have to know everything and they can just connect people and someone else does that. They would much rather that than then take the time to learn all this stuff before they can be the ones answering the question. So it removes the pressure. And secondly, it makes this thing duplicatable or duplicable, however you want to say it. Because if I am the third party, like I'm the validator, and the prospect across the table from me says, I just don't know. I don't know if I can do this. All I have to say is, can you do what, John, who maybe John connected the two of us, like there's 3 of us at the table. It's John's friend, John's prospect. I'm the advisor. They're the prospect. John's the connector. All I have to say is, well, can you do what John did today? What did John do? Well, John just invited the two of us to a meeting, the two of us to a coffee, and introduced us. Can you do that? Can you invite two people to get a cup of coffee or jump on a Zoom? Can you do that? And of course, everybody can do that. It's another reason why you should be using third party. It makes this thing duplicatable. It makes this thing much easier for someone to do. And the other thing is, if you have a number of people on your team already, or you've joined a team, you probably have a variety of stories. And here comes like another way you can get validation. So you can get third-party validation, like what we would call like 2-in-1, like you get two people and one prospect, right? The other way, though, is through what we've touched on a little bit, and that is through Zooms or Facebook groups, where we've talked a lot about having like visual validation, like validation through the numbers, by seeing like, wow, this is bigger than just my friend talking to me about this. There's like 20 people on this Zoom, or there's 60 people, or there's 100 people on this Zoom. So inviting people to a Zoom is great validation for what you have. Or having a Facebook group that has stories where you can tag them in the stories is great validation for usually the product, sometimes the business. But I'm telling you guys, the one that converts is not so much the Zoom, not so much the Facebook groups. The one that really converts is the live one-on-one, human to human Zoom or meeting, where you've got three people together, you're getting that validation. That is what converts. Okay. So we've talked about the three reasons why you should do this. Now, how? There's not a whole lot of the how, right? But there are some critical pieces. And here's like the one that is most outstanding to me that most people miss or mess up is, you get this validator to come over and do this meeting for you or jump on the Zoom. And then you don't validate them. You don't explain to your prospect why they should be listening. Okay. Because they probably don't know the person, right? Like, think about some of the more successful business owners in the world, like these big companies, the Jeff Bezos and the Elon Musk and all these people, right? They, think about Shark Tank. You got Mark Cuban, right? Like if your friend came to you and said, hey, I've got this business opportunity, you need to come down and grab a cup of coffee with me and Mark Cuban, your friend's going. Okay, because they know Mark Cuban. They know who that person is, a billionaire, right? Owner of the Dallas Mavericks, or used to be, and just a brilliant business guy, right? Well, you and I are not Mark Cuban. So you need to explain to them, but you need to promote in a way like they're coming to see Mark Cuban. Like that's how you should be promoting this meeting. Like, listen, you've told me this is what you want, XYZ, right? You want to make some extra money, or you're wanting to get some time freedom, or you're wanting to replace your job. You really need to meet a person that I know. They've been able to already do what you want. They're super cool. They're down to earth. I'll see if I can get them on a Zoom, or I see if I can get them for a meeting. And if I can get them, believe me, this is a meeting you want. If you really want what you just told me, like if you really want freedom, more money, this is a person you want to meet, right? They've done X, Y, Z. You kind of know a little bit of their resume. So that's the start, is you got to be a promoter, guys. One of the highest paid skills in network marketing is promotion. You promote events, and a third party meeting, whether it's live or Zoom, is an event. Remember that, guys. One of the highest paid skills is promotion, being able to promote people so other people want to be a part of the event. Okay. So make sure you dial that in. If people are not taking you up on your invite to get into a Zoom or a live meeting, it's because of you. You've not promoted properly. It's not because of them. It's not because of the product or the service. It's because of you and your lack of skill of promotion. Okay. Period. Because if someone invited you to meet Mark Cuban, you wouldn't even care what the meeting was about. You're going just because you know if you spend time there, it's going to add value to your life. Okay. That's how you need to promote it. Secondly, is when you get in the meeting and after you introduce the two people, zip it. Zip it. Don't speak. Just nod, smile, and nod. Because the moment you start speaking, unless you've been asked by the validator, like if the validator says, hey, John, tell us your story or tell us your experience. That's one thing. If the validator is initiating you to start speaking, that's fine. But if you're initiating it, the validator may have a plan for where they want this conversation to go. And then by you speaking, you just took it way off into left field. That's going to take longer to bring them back to where we needed them to be. Or the worst part is, what if the validator is saying something like, yeah, this product's got, these 7 ingredients. And you go, oh, no. It's got 6. That's in that other product. This product has 6. The one you're thinking about has 7, but this one's got 6. You immediately remove the credibility from the validator. Like the validator, their level of knowledge has come down a bit in your prospect's eyes. Do not do that. If the validator says the wrong thing, do not correct them. It is not your job to correct them. Okay. And I mean, unless something is being said so egregious, right, that it has to be. And in such case, don't use that validator again. You got the wrong validator. Okay. Do not interrupt them. And the last thing I will tell you is, if you want your third-party meeting to go good, tell the validator before the meeting what you want the outcome to be. Like, do you want to close the deal today? Or do you want to just lead them to the next meeting? Do you want to get them to the next event? Do you want to just get them on some product? Like, tell them what you want. And then the validator can take the conversation there. All right. And lastly, if you are the person doing the validation, just make sure you do it in a way that if the deal doesn't close, the person you're talking to, the prospect you're talking to, wants to get back on a Zoom with you. And you do that by respecting them. Like before the Zoom starts or when the Zoom starts, say, hey, listen, I respect your time. I don't want to take this longer than you want. So tell me, how much time do you have to take? And when you get there, they say 10 minutes and it gets to 10 minutes, say, hey, our 10 minutes is up. I want to respect your time. Do we need to wrap this up? Do you have a little bit more time? And see, if you do those things as the validator, then when you guys set up, if they don't close, when you set up the follow-up, right? Because at the end, if they don't close, you're going to say, okay, hey, listen, so here's the information you requested. How much time do you need to go over it? Because I really want to get back with you in a timely way so that we can see if it's the right time or you got your answers to your questions. And then they'll know when I get back on this Zoom that it's not going to be a 2-hour Zoom if I've got 10 minutes. Make sure that you set this thing up if you're the one doing the validation so that the prospect wants to do it again. But most importantly, if you're the validator, have the tact and the insight that the call has gone so well or the meeting has gone so well that the person that set the meeting up wants to do another one. Like, because if I can increase the belief in my business partner, my new business partner that brought me in as the validator, if my new business partner is excited about what I did for them, if their belief went up because of some of the things I was sharing, then I'm more excited about that than the person joining me. Let that sink in, guys. Doing a third party Zoom or third party meeting It's just as important for the new business partner as it is the prospect. Because if it's done right, the new business partner is going to say, I'm doing another one of these. I like this. I'm going to go grab some more people and put them in front of Brandon. I'm going to go get some more of these. And I can promise you, if you get a team of people doing third-party validation, you're going to see your business grow. And most people kind of resist this because they're like, oh, that is so slow. I don't want to take the time. They don't understand scale. They don't understand how business is done. They're looking to do this business from a distance through, leverage with emails, or they just think like three-way calls is taking too much of their time. They do not understand the power of numbers and teaching other people how to do three-way calls. Why do you think I'm doing this podcast right now, guys? Do I have time to do all of your Zooms, all of your validations? No, I don't. But if I teach enough of you how to do it, then you'll be able to do it, and you'll teach people how to do it, and you teach people how to do it. And now we've got thousands and thousands of people doing effective third-party validation. It's a huge part of what successful teams do and what successful teams teach. If your team is not teaching this, it might be a red flag. There's been a lot of companies that have gone out of business, and they've gone out of business because they've lost the ability to teach those skills of network marketing. They've gone to just selling product, not having these skills of promoting events, or third-party validation, or resolving concerns. They're just throwing people in Facebook groups and thinking it's going to work. Well, hey, guess what? It didn't work. It didn't work because social media alone does not work for true network marketing. Mark my words. We're seeing it. It's going to continue to happen. Companies are going to continue to struggle when you got leaders teaching the wrong thing. You do not lose speed by slowing down to do third-party validation. You actually speed things up when you do it, because you're gaining business partners, not just customers. That's your business growing by multiplication, not addition. And then your business explodes when you teach people the skill of doing third-party validation. Now you've got multiplication on top of multiplication. That is the power of doing this the right way. And by the way, again, going back to what I said, no one is going to make a business decision off of a Facebook group or a video. And if they do, and if they have, you're like, oh yeah, Brandon, well, yeah, guess what? I've got all these business partners that have joined me from a video and a funnel. Well, really? That's cool. How's your business doing? How's your numbers? How's your paycheck? Because I'm going to just go out on a limb and say probably not great, because this is a people business. Business is a people business, not just network marketing. If you're going to go invest money into an opportunity, you are not doing it without real conversations and asking questions, and at the minimum, meeting other humans that can help you negotiate and navigate the deal, and then learn how to do the deal, right? Come on, guys. Let's use some common sense. Let's not say network marketing is so foreign to the way business is done. It's actually it mimics a lot of other businesses and business practices. The problem with network marketing with most people is they try and take that out. And when you take it out, you end up attracting people who are not business people. And people that are not business people are also not disciplined. They're not driven. And then you wonder why your team's not doing anything. It's because you're attracting undisciplined, undriven people thinking you're going to get results. That is hilarious. You guys, it's a business, and it's a beautiful business when you use the right techniques and you teach your teams the right skills, period. Third-party validation is here forever. And it's one of the missing pieces for a lot of teams. So I hope you enjoyed this week's podcast. I hope you're doing third party. If you're not, listen to this again. Go figure it out. It's figure outable if you do it enough. If you fail enough, if you do enough of them, you're going to figure out how to do them right because you've done enough wrong. Just go do them. Okay. And just know that humans love third-party validation. They would rather listen to someone else say how great your product is than you say, like I told you about the kids. So you guys have a great week. We will see you next week. Bye.